farthest right, farthest west. Probably the farthest right, but also the farthest west, Highway Point. I've had a lot of stuff on my mind. I've been seeing the devil's attacks on young men just increased so strongly over the last couple of months. I see so many lost young men, that want to become women, and it's easy to understand why. The destruction of the family, the brainwashing that's been happening in the schools and universities, on the television, and all these TV shows. Some of these TV shows, just for no reason at all, seem to just start changing a character into being confused about their gender. And this is demonic attacks on all the young men of our country. Our perverse government seeks to make us all equally worthless to them in their eyes, and seeks to weaken all of us equally. The feminist movement was just a ploy to destroy the family and to make women think that somehow the government was going to equalize them when they were created equal in the eyes of God from the beginning. From the beginning of man and woman, Adam and Eve were equal. But somehow, through propaganda and lies, the serpent, Satan, through the use of our perverse people in government, was able to convince women they were somehow unequal. And so, once they were deceived, they took the poison apple and were led into servitude, to being equally taxed, so that neither a man or a woman with a single income could support a family. And now we all suffer as slaves. We bought into, not just women, but university students and people in elementary school, bought into the idea of the feminist movement, and therefore enslaved and destroyed the American family. And now that's not even good enough. Now they seek to destroy women and men's idea, even of their own being male or female. And Satan wants to destroy their nature. It's not good enough now that the devil has destroyed man and woman in the American family, or any families throughout the world. I'm just speaking from the heart right now, but I'll do some reading in a minute. But they seek to destroy our very identity. Satan doesn't want us to be able to band together and resist him. So he seeks to even destroy what a young girl is, making her think maybe she should change herself into being a man through pills, or maybe change a man into being a woman through chemical castration, through hormone treatments. But either way, this can't be. God created us male and female, and it doesn't matter what type of horrible things we do to our bodies, we will still never be able to change what God created us as, male or female. I see so much of this on Facebook, and they're saying such perverse things to children. The sexual acts that people are professing to want to do to each other on Facebook won't even get them taken down. Somehow they have acted like they are the authority on what truth is through fact checkers. But yet there's all kinds of pornography and abusive, and especially child abuse, sexual assault material all over Facebook. It's rampant. And all the reels and the live streams. It's so sad to see. We see the kingdom of Satan being unveiled before our eyes in everyday life. And it's up to us to do as much as we can through love, not through hate, because you can't destroy hate by hate. Only love can do that. But through love, we have to open the eyes of these people, pray for them, If we all pray for each other, then no one on this earth will be without prayers, because someone will be praying for them. Pray for the whole world, and especially include these lost and deceived children in your prayers. Demonocratic civilization. I'm going to start the reading with Death to the World, Volume 12. I want to live through one day in which I won't be ashamed, in which I won't be outside of myself, whispered one. In the name of the youth of the apocalypse, in the name of those messed up, shattered by instability, loneliness, and difficulties while growing up in this absurd world, who announced nothingness as the motto of his existence, a tragically killed American actor and one of the West's rebels without a cause, James Dean. The life of youth in the West has become a rage against society, education, family, culture, traditions, authority, self, and even life. A series of rages against lies, emptiness, a lifeless secular civilization, and her superficial values, which cannot satisfy the thirst for the living truth with fullness, meaning, and all inclusiveness. This rage is in fact crying out of the individual for a personality, for identity, in a lost society. It's already common knowledge that communism did not succeed in destroying the souls of the Russian people during the 70 years of its tyrannical occupation. But MTV, jeans, Coca-Cola, and McDonald's has been devouring souls during these few years following perestroika and democratic translations. John Lennon, when the Beatles were at the peak of their worldwide popularity, announced, "Now we are more popular than Jesus Christ." Here he expressed for a fact the truth about rock and roll as being a plush-like Western weapon for battling the soul and overtaking the faithful, whom the communists at another time led bloodily into their revolutions. Counterculture has become worldwide culture, and with that, the main medium of the worldwide engineering of the souls of young men and women. Counterculture has become the norm and one of the components of political correctness, integrating the youth into a nihilistic, demonocratic, rule by demons civilization. Through occultism and spiritual suicide, we will find identity and community. Through sex, we will not find our identity and community. Through ideologized MTV culture, which is nothing else but a dirty global business dealing with us, we will not find our lost identity and community. Through violence, which is done in order to free ourselves from despair and liberate our aggressiveness, we will not find our lost identity and community. All of these ways are false, in reality cementing us in loneliness and emptiness and changing what is best in youth, courage, and freedom into instruments of our fall and self-destruction. If you want the life which does not die, you should have courage to believe in God in a world which fights against God. Spiritual courage is the first virtue. Without it, other virtues are impossible. Make a courageous start, stand on that decisive line, and rise against the world. But with the true rising of Christ, be alive. Be different from the multitude of the living who are dead and who are, according to a common rhythm, marching to death. Make the gigantic step in life towards the life that does not die, towards Christ, for only Christ gives eternal freedom and dignity, identity and community, which no one can take away from you. Howdy, everybody. God bless you, and thanks for joining me. Ascetic Awakening. This is an article by a young man who is the leader of one of Serbia's popular underground bands. He is now a university student and aspiring to be a priest. My friend called us to drop into the Academy, a Belgrade punk club. That evening, as usual, I was blinded by the strobe light flash. As I entered the club, some band was on stage and the people were slam dancing and stage diving to the music. I hadn't seen my friend in quite a while. He always had good grass. He grew on his own somewhere out of town. But this time when I joined, he said, "No more, but you can have a drink and rating." I thought he was kidding, that he's going to a monastery to become a monk. None of us believed. All of our lives we were trying to remain freewheeling, avoid. Now into a lifetime prison, I thought, and of his own free will. No way. Several months later, we noticed that he disappeared. We thought sure he'd gone to Holland, as he said he would be there before. Then the next year, he suddenly phoned to his closest friend, inviting him to come to a monastery we never heard of. Present at the ceremony of his becoming a monk. It's definitely not a prison. So I noticed that the connection got kicked. So starting off where I left off. So we noticed that he had disappeared. We thought for sure he'd gone to Holland as he said he would. Then the next year he suddenly phoned his closest friend, inviting him to come to a monastery we never heard of, to be present at the ceremony of his becoming a monk. It's definitely not prison. Those monks are mostly young and very nice, though sober looking. I saw no fanatics there. I saw young men of approximately my age, mostly 20 to 30 years old, some of whom I used to even see with practically the same background as I. Civilized, some fanatic, fantastically learned, others fantastically talented artists or singers. And the surrounding nature is wow. I could really spend a lifetime in it. Again, a couple of months later, an expedition of 3 young men went there. One of them got baptized. They all brought back plenty of impressions and stories about those monks. Soon, every one of us, moved by curiosity or something else, paid a visit, and some of us even started to go there regularly. We were all surprised to see modern young people like us who changed their lifestyle radically. It just happened. God came to town. I realized it in church when I saw Anna and Sebastian, my friends who were on a needle for years, waiting in line to receive Holy Communion. When Cain, a rebel punk singer, said in his song, "Mary, Mother of God, do you see what they're doing to your children?" I began to see me from nightclubs and rock and roll concerts, standing in line for Holy Communion regularly. The band life. Finest album of ours, album of the year on the list of prestigious Yugoslav alternative music mag, which compared it with the contemporary urban dance squad for an instant the sky, but the melody soon made us fall down and break a lot of bones. War hit him up, and I thank God for giving me the eyes to read and understand at least a bit of the scripture. I see that they wrote his glory impossible to escape. So now I'm learning to carry it with gratitude, and that's what I was looking for. It didn't make me more worthy or better or different than other people. It made me at the same equal and less worthy. It taught me to see the best traits of each person and to try to develop them in myself as working whatever inside of me and to love people as they are. He doesn't teach some abstract theories and theologic constructions, but it basically means cleanse yourself, uproot your passions and bad habits, make your soul as perfect as you can, trust in God, and He will. Pray, Vladimir. A little bit later, it just keeps off and cutting a bit later. We'll see you in a bit. E-Dog. I'll be back a little bit later. Hopefully the internet fixes itself. God bless you all. I love you all so much.